BL is oversaturated, but is Girls Love really the next in line to take over? Back in June, actor Perth Nakan, better known online as GPkP, and familiar to many of you from GrossePausekleinePause and other BL series, posted a TikTok about the current state of the Thai BL industry. He talked about oversaturation, the rise of GL, and the bigger question of what comes after both. So let's take a closer look. Is GL really the next BL, or is the story more complicated than that? Perth begins with what's probably the biggest critique of Thai BL right now: oversaturation. Too many shows being churned out, uneven quality, and a sense that copycat formulas have taken over. It's not a new complaint. Fans have been saying it for years. But hearing it from an actor inside the industry carries more weight.
Obviously, we all know that the BL drama market is way oversaturated. There's too many. And when there's a lot, you tend to see a large variation in quality as well. Because if we're speaking facts, it's easy to make a quick buck because it doesn't really take much money relatively to put a series together. So your return on investment can be very high. And this isn't a knock on the entertainment industry in Thailand, because Hollywood is exactly the same. As is many industries, it's a copycat industry. You see something that works, you try to replicate it, or you try to do better.
And honestly, he's not wrong. Across Reddit, X, and even Tumblr, fans keep repeating the same thing. The BL boom of 2020 to 2022 gave us cultural moments like I Told Sunset About You and GrossePausekleinePause, but in 2024 and 2025, it feels like we're drowning in mid-tier series that all blur together. One Reddit user wrote, "The saturation is just a byproduct of how marketable BL is becoming." Personally, I don't watch the churned-out BLs. Most of it is really boring, bland, bad. Another added, "There are indeed many more series being produced, and the quality is variable to say the least. The series that are hits tend to have decent scripts, experienced directors, and proper production values, like any successful drama." That's the shift we're seeing, from event dramas to filler dramas. The audience is spoiled for choice, but that also means people are pickier and quick to call out mediocrity. So if BL is hitting saturation, what's taking its place? Perth says the spotlight is already moving toward Girls Love. After pointing out BL's oversaturation, Perth shifts to what's climbing in its place: Girls Love. He says if you look around in Thailand right now, from billboards to advertising campaigns, it's GL actresses who are front and center more often than BL actors.
BL is actually trending downwards a little bit, and GL is on the rise in Thailand. Apparently, if you look around at billboards and advertisements, you see a lot more GL actresses than BL actors nowadays. So BL was like this, and now it's like this, and then you have GL coming up like this.
And he's right. GL has been gaining visibility in ways that feel new. Back in late 2022, Gap. The series became the first mainstream Thai GL to really break through, pulling international fans and proving the audience was there. Fast forward to 2023 and 2024. 23.5 from GMM-TV gave GL its first real push into the same glossy, idol-driven territory as BL. Then came The Secret of Us, the first GL to air on Channel 3 primetime and stream on Netflix, a huge step into the mainstream. And alongside it, The Loyal Pin was heavily promoted with the full BL-style playbook, polished visuals, fan service events, and big marketing budgets. Together, these shows prove that GL isn't a one-off after Gap. It's a rising sector of Thai entertainment with serious momentum. Fans have noticed the shift too. On X and TikTok, you'll find plenty of people saying they're ready for something fresh. One fan put it this way on Reddit: "Gap showed them there's an audience." Now GL is finally getting the investment BL had for years. And brands are catching on. Endorsements, billboard campaigns, even festival appearances are now leaning into GL couples. Perth is pointing to something real here. Girls Love is on the upswing, not just on screen but in the wider entertainment economy. But he also makes an interesting prediction. If GL follows the same path as BL, it could end up just as oversaturated. Which raises the bigger question: what comes after? Perth doesn't stop at pointing out the rise of GL. He also suggests that, just like BL, once GL hits its peak, it could become oversaturated too. And then what? Does the industry just loop endlessly between BL, GL, and straight dramas?
Once GL hits its peak, probably will become oversaturated and start to go down again. What is next is what this person was a little bit concerned about. Do you go back to like straight dramas and then it just keeps going around in a loop of three things like over and over again? And feel free to argue with me on this.
And this is where it gets interesting. Fans online have been asking the same thing. Is Thai queer media locked into a cycle of trends, or can it evolve into something lasting? On Reddit, one user put it bluntly, Thai BL is stagnating. It feels like a loop, the same tropes, recycled plots, and when GL takes over, it'll probably follow the same path. But others are more hopeful. Across fan spaces, you'll also find people saying they want more generally queer shows, not just BL or GL romance, but stories where queer people exist in different genres, thrillers, fantasy, slice of life. And that's the point. What comes after shouldn't just be a swap between BL and GL. The bigger opportunity is for queer media in Thailand to move past being a trend and start being treated as sustainable storytelling. Perth even suggests what it would take for this to happen. Investment and proper support, the kind that could make Thai BL and GL more like the Korean drama model. And that leads into his final point, what it would take for them to really last. Finally, Perth talks about what it would take for BL and GL to survive beyond trend cycles. And it comes down to money, creativity, and proper support.
BL doesn't have, for example, as big of a reach as K-dramas or K-pop, which is fine. Relatively speaking, the reach of BL and the power of BL is amazing. A few government agencies, big companies have tried to utilize BL or collaborate with BL, whether it be to promote tourism or to promote Thailand as a whole. I believe that in the entertainment industry in Korea, the government actually backs a lot of drama productions, for example, giving incentives or funding them and things like that. I think that's really what Thailand needs, because if you want BL to last, you need to make really good stuff, and to make good stuff, you need creative people and you need money. If they don't handle it properly, they could squander a really good opportunity, but we'll see.
And this is a crucial point. Thailand's BL boom has been massive, but unlike Korea's entertainment industry, it hasn't had the same level of government support or long-term infrastructure. We've seen glimpses of what's possible. The amazing Thailand tourism campaigns using BL couples, or international events where BL actors are promoted as cultural ambassadors. But those are one-off moments, not systemic support. Meanwhile, Korea built K-dramas and K-pop into global exports by treating them as soft power, with state backing and incentives for studios. That's why the quality feels consistent, and the reach is so wide. Fans online are aware of this gap too. One Reddit user wrote, "If Thailand invested in BL the way Korea invested in K-dramas, the potential is enormous. Right now it feels like wasted opportunities." And that's what Perth is warning about. Without money, without creative investment, and without structural support, both BL and GL could end up as short-lived cycles instead of long-term strengths. So where does that leave us? Perth ends on an open note, saying we might still have a few more solid years before oversaturation sets in again. Which means the question is up to us as viewers, and up to the industry. Will BL and GL keep evolving, or will they just repeat the cycle? So after all this, where does that leave BL and GL? Perth ends his video by saying these things come in waves, and for now, BL still has a few solid years before oversaturation really sets in again. But the rise of GL, the cycle of trends, and the question of long-term support all make it clear. What happens next isn't guaranteed. For fans, that means being pickier and pushing for quality. And for the industry, it means deciding whether queer storytelling is just a trend to cash in on, or something worth investing in for the long run. I hope this pause in the chaos makes you think. Do you believe GL is really the next BL, or is it time for Thai queer media to evolve into something bigger? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, this is GPkP.